Well, I'm back on the boat build this morning. It's a day off, and I'm just loving the idea that I get to work on the boat all day long. Today's project is going to be the transom of the boat, but before we get to that, I'd like to show you the end product for the stem that we ripped out and rough cut last time. Here's the side profile of the actual stem as it's now finished. You can see that the glue up is dead center on the piece. The sides look really good, and I went ahead and sanded it down just with an 80 grit all the way through, and it looks beautiful. I did put a nice little flat spot on the top, as you can see, so it doesn't cut the water too hard and splash up into the boat. And I think we're in great shape with this stem right now, so we're going to move on to the transom. Okay, we're looking at transom wood again. 8/4 hickory. This is a 12-foot piece, and it is beautiful. There's only one real major flaw in it down here way at the end, which we'll go ahead and cut off, and the rest of it is absolutely gorgeous. It's pretty flat too. I was looking at it up against the pieces of wood underneath it, and it comes very flush throughout the whole thing, so I'm real happy with the piece that I chose for this. A couple of things that we're going to have to do with it. One is get it into a little bit more of a manageable size. It's 12 feet long, it's super duper heavy, and so we're going to cut it in half, and we're going to deal with it at that length. Also, it is 13.5 inches wide, and I thought, man, that would be great to have just a little bit higher of a transom, but I think I'm going to have to go ahead and cut it down to 12 inches anyway, because I can't get it through my planer at that. Let's take the first steps. We'll get it cut in half, and then we'll deal with both pieces individually. All right, we've got the marks set up in the halfway point of this thing, and we're just going to go ahead and lop it right off. I went ahead and planed down the one side of this board because I wasn't real happy with the rough cut edge to a much smoother edge, and the reason I did that is because I decided I didn't want to use my table saw to do this cut. I'm not going to freehand it. I am going to edge cut it, but I'm going to do it with my Craig rip cut. I've set it up so it cuts right through. I'm hoping this is a nice easy cut. It is a side of the test piece that I did the first time I've actually used it on a piece of wood. So here we go. The angles where these things are going to join together have come out just perfect. I did have to do quite a bit of planing on them. Unfortunately, that edge cut saw that I used, it only works really well when you have already pre-cut edges. So I had to go ahead, I used a string method and straightened out the lines real good, and it came out really nice. So I'm looking forward to getting these bound together. This is just kind of a dry layup right now to show you how well the seams came out. The next step was chopping off the edges, and I chopped them off right at a 12-degree angle, or 5 inches in 2 feet. We've done that on both sides of the piece, so they are even, and that's the angle that the transom's supposed to be at. So to get the rods in between these two pieces, what I'm going to do is a little trick I saw on tips with from the Shipwright, and that's basically find the center of the piece, which we've done already, and I'm going to put a batten in there, mark the center of that piece, and then I'll be able to put holes where I want on both sides of this. Well, we've brought everything outside to make things a little bit easier, and got the battens on. I've got the holes, or the marks, put where I want the holes, and I'm going to go ahead and just short drill these real quick so I can get a good start at them. These are going to act as a guide to keep me upright, and I'm just going to take this right on my mark, and we're going to start right through. I'm trying to keep these as level as possible when I do them. Makes it a little bit easier,
and that way we don't have to worry about trying to bend the rod as we put them into the next piece. Ah, yeah, we're in there pretty good ways. Okay, we're back inside, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to line up this batten from the first piece that's in front of me here to the second piece to make sure that the location holes are exactly in the same spot. And what I'm going to do is make sure my line's straightened up here, put that right in there, and make sure this transfers exactly like that to the line and to the line on here. That'll make sure I have nice holes that are going to be consistent with the piece in my hand. As you can see, we have the transom is completely cut out. We've drilled the holes on both sides. We've got some steel rod that are going to go in between them, and then we're going to epoxy both sides of it together. And that is going to complete the transom, and we'll get you a completed picture here as soon as we're done putting it together. And there you have it, folks. This is the transom, which is actually not on the stand right. It's actually upside down. It's going to be built upside down. But I just wanted to get it all clamped up so it doesn't move from the spots that I have it right now. We've got 12-degree angles on the outside edges. We've got about 24.5-inch transom height, and they've been glued up with rods put in them. And now we've got a front and a back. We'll be looking forward to next week when we can start putting a little bit of side planking on this thing and making it look like a boat. Have a great weekend.